Morning, y'all. Okay, so this was supposed to be yesterday's video, but I was a little late on it. I had to build up motivation. I haven't made a video for a while, so I'm like kind of losing my oomph, I guess so to say. I'm gonna take a little bit of different approach. I came out and I started talking about facts and everything that goes along with spinal cord injury. Okay, so I do have a lot of that knowledge, and I have, there's a lot of people that need to hear that and want to hear that. But like the most important part of my journey has been, other than the time of where my life changed, to now, my spiritual awakening was ranked up there, if not above the actual spinal cord injury. Both of them changed my life. One happened on my birthday, and I feel like I was born again. And this one happened yet again, and I feel like I was born again. So it's been interesting how it unraveled, and anybody that has had true awakenings, because it's not one, you continue having them, because very few of us reach full enlightenment. That's just, we can get there, but our ego, our mind, us, keeps kicking back in, trying to figure out what's going on. And then that causes conflict with, the highest level. So I ended up having a bad intestinal thing go on. And I ended up in the emergency room, and I had another one of them chronic urinary tract infections that I have problems with. So they couldn't get the PICC lines in my arm because it's long-term antibiotic. You have to have a course of like 3 weeks of it. So they don't want just the regular IVs that are not stable enough, don't stay. So they go for a main artery in your arm, and they put it's a catheter that goes in by your ventricle up here and goes into your heart. So I've had so many of the PICC lines, they have to go. They couldn't get access, so they actually put one in my jugular. So I ended up in the hospital. I had a PICC line in my jugular. I ended up having an episode that had me on pain meds, and I had a psychotic break. They put me into mania. They took me off my mood stabilizers and my sleeping pills. When I went to the emergency room, they just gave me basic meds. So they took me off of my mood stabilizer and my sleeping pills, so I went into a manic episode, and I didn't sleep for 8 days. So I was talking to people in the bathroom, trying to sell me drugs. People were coming down the hall, burning rooms, just all kinds of madness. I actually called 911 from my hospital room. They came and took my phone. But anyway, after that experience, I had a direct confrontation with my mortality. That, my time here is getting shorter, and that what I have to show for what I've accomplished, what I've put together, isn't anything that I can have pride for. So that's in turn why I'm doing this. But I had that, and it, that's not just my mortality. I'm faced with the fact of losing my home. If I fuck up, screw up, I'm going to lose my dog. Sheba's everything to me. Anybody that knows me, my dog Sheba is everything to me. So them stark realities made me start trying to figure out where to go. So I discovered meditation, and at first it was just at nighttime. I would listen to the guided meditations because I was trying to access the ability to lucid dream. So within them guided meditations, I had a few sleep talk downs. It ran across a couple others, the way YouTube is, just jump to whatever. But then I carried into, okay, well, this is still on my mind, so maybe I'll take it to another level. And I found someone else, Boho Beautiful. It's this girl that does yoga, and she does meditation. She's not hard to look at either. She's just a very beautiful soul. So I started doing morning meditations every day with the sun. The sun comes up, I'm doing my meditation. Going outside, doing my meditation. Starting to focus on positive things. Starting to experience gratitude. To recognize the things that have been given to me, not what has been taken away. And that's what's more important, because what's been taken away was choices I made in my past. But my past is just that. My past is my past. That's where depression lies. That's where dwelling on anxiety. No, the anxiety's for the future. But the past we bottle every day. We relive these things in our mind. Even small things, even little things that we don't even realize that have bothered us, but they have, and it's stored in a little bank in your mind. And then it manifests into whatever form, and there's no way to figure out why you did what you did, because it's so buried. My meditation drew me to Alan Watts, and a psilocybin experience. Yes, psychedelics greatly influenced meditation. The mortality and reality first, the meditation second, and the psychedelic experience through fuel, jet fuel, and Alan Watts. So in that, I started pulling myself away from me. I also discovered Eckhart Tolle, Mindfulness, The Power of Now. It's a really awesome book. Anybody that's starting off on their awakening or is curious on discovering more about a spiritual awakening and what it can offer, I strongly suggest reading that book. It's very good. So, you know, to live in the moment is hard to do sometimes. We've trained ourselves to dwell in the future or the past. That's what we experience. And we have a prefrontal cortex. You want to know what exact area it is. But it's what's the analytical brain. It tries to predict, rationalize. It has to understand. And this was useful when we were, you know, in hunter-gathering, where we had to be aware at all times. We had to learn from our experiences, and we had to predict outcomes. And now our internal body still has them underlying, you know, tendencies, but now we don't have the threats. We don't have these things to be aware of, so it turns inward and it manifests in, you know, other ways. But so upon all this, I come to where I'm at now, and it's either sit around and continue, okay, I'm in a better place. I feel better. Okay, that's good. The people directly around me can see this. They've seen the change, and they have pride in me, and that feels good. And it makes me want to do more. That's the thing about psychedelics. It opens up love. It opens up the connection, the oneness that we are with everything, that we're not above the animals that we see, the land, that we're on, the earth. We're not above all this. We're a part of it. So for us to be against each other, and for us to, it just doesn't make sense. But that's like the basics of what I've experienced on my spiritual awakening. There's a lot of it in there that, you know, I'm, you know, but that's the rundown, a little bit of it. This is kind of the first video on this end that I've made, especially with opening up about my psychedelic experience. That's a whole nother topic. I kind of held off on that because, you know, I don't want people to view as what's happened to me was due to a drug. These medicines, these experience has transformed me yet again into something that's better, into something that I've never seen in my life, that I can feel good about, that I actually do feel good about. You know, and I don't know that I ever had in my life. So whether it's just right for me, which I know it's not just me, I've met a community of people and like-minded individuals that do take it seriously, ceremonially, as medicine, as self-exploration, actualization, intrigation, all these things, the important parts and aspects of these things that, if not taken seriously, if not looked at in the correct perception, then they're not being used responsibly or in any way that's going to benefit anything. But as I said, peace. I want to thank anybody that's following, liking, subscribing, anybody that just generally enjoys. Yeah, this is all stretched out. Anybody that enjoys hearing me. There's Sheba in the background. Sheba, say hi. There. Peace out. Trips out. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for all and any support.